Investigation.
And the man accused of killing his wife at a South Loop condo tower prepares for his plea hearing, which you need to know ahead of Adam Beckering's court appearance.
Hey, taking a live look outside. We had some sun a little bit earlier. It's kind of gone a little bit behind the clouds there, but we do have a chance for some severe storms. Just how bad are we talking, Mike?
Well, you know, it won't hit everybody, but I think we'll all get some rain, a few thunderstorms, and maybe one or two could have a little extra oomph to them later this afternoon.
Clean that dirt off the cars.
That was something. I'm glad we've been reporting on that. So here's the deal. You know, it's not going to be raining all day long. Temperatures for most of us will get in the 50s, a little cooler lakeside, a little warmer southwest. I think the brunt of the rain is going to be happening after that 4 o'clock time frame and continuing until about 10 or 11. And then tomorrow, it could change over to a little light snow. 44 right now at O'Hare, mostly cloudy there, and north wind at 5. We will turn winds off the lake, and that'll knock temperatures back there a little bit. Only 30, though, at Aurora's Airport, 38 at Joliet, 43 at Maryville, 38 at Waukegan. Most of us headed for highs in the 50s. Back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mike. Appreciate it, sir. Breaking this morning, 2 people dead, another 2 hurt after a terrible crash happened on the Bishop Ford.
Saquon is live this morning to explain exactly what happened. Say?
Hey, it's Vic. Are we back in the show? Because we still have dead air.
Okay, we'll check back in with her when her crew's ready. Yes, move on to some other news. And this is a big story from overseas. UK police have arrested the former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, over reports that he sent trade information to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein back in 2010. Andrew had already been stripped of royal titles because of his ties to Jeffrey Epstein. King Charles says police have the royal family's full support and the law must take its course. The last time, this is for context, get this history. The last time a senior member of the British royal family was arrested was back in 1647 when King Charles I was tried and executed for treason.
A man accused of killing his wife by throwing her down the stairs of a South Loop condo building is expected to answer a plea in court today. Adam Beckering has been in the Cook County Jail since being extradited from Michigan, where he's serving time for a separate domestic violence charge. He's now charged with first-degree murder and the death of his wife, Caitlin Tracy.
All right, the families of 2 women shot and killed in Hobart. They're going to be holding a news conference with police today after police arrested 2 suspects in their deaths. 26-year-old Amos Krim and 25-year-old Saquon Kirksey are accused of shooting and killing Destiny Jackson and Nazira Mohammed back in 2022 in Hobart. Police have not determined a motive for that shooting. And we now have the schedule for services to honor the life of civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Jackson died early Tuesday morning at 84 years old. On Wednesday, February 25th, Reverend Jackson will lie in state at the Rainbow Push Coalition from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. and then again on Thursday from 10 until 6. On Friday, the 27th, House of Hopes is holding a public celebration from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. And on Saturday, the 28th, homegoing services will be held at the Rainbow Push Coalition from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m.
Breaking this morning, let's get back to that report about the terrible crash that happened on the Bishop Ford. Checking back in with Saquon, who is live to explain what happened here. Say.
Hey, good morning to you guys. We are just outside of University of Chicago Hospital this morning, where we know some of the victims of that crash were taken to be treated for their injuries. At least one of those victims is said to be in critical condition right now. And according to some preliminary information that we got earlier this morning from Illinois State Police, there was another victim who was transported here with non-life-threatening injuries. I do want to show you some video of what that crash looked like. We do know, according to Illinois State Police, 2 people were killed, 3 others were hurt and transported to the hospital after a single rollover crash. You can see the SUV flipped over onto its side here. This happened on the Bishop Ford at 111th, just before 2 o'clock this morning. We do know all lanes are now back open. Traffic kind of moving along here just fine. Once again, there is very limited information at this time, as this is an active investigation right now. Back here at the hospital, we do know that Illinois State Police is here. We've seen several of their squad cars around the hospital this morning. But there is many questions right now regarding, the situation. Obviously, we are still working to confirm the names of all of the people who were involved in this crash, as well as what led up to this crash. Hopefully, we'll be able to bring you some more information as soon as we hear an update. Guys?
Okay, thank you for that update. Southern News, an 8-month-old is in the hospital after her stroller rolled into Lake Michigan. Chicago police say it happened Wednesday around 3 p.m. near North Lakeshore Drive at Melrose Street. Multiple people immediately jumped into action there to pull the girl out of the water. And at last check, even though she is hospitalized, that little baby is in good condition.
Well, a ban on intoxicating hemp products is dead after Chicago City Council failed to override Mayor Brandon Johnson's veto. Mayor Johnson says that he vetoed the measure out of a concern for small businesses. But some council members say that he should be considering the risks to children as well.
Let me be absolutely clear. I am very much concerned and share the concerns that have been raised about hemp products lacking proper safeguards, especially when it comes to packaging or sales practices that may appeal to our children. But while we wait for additional guidance and rules from the federal government, I am vetoing the proposed ordinance as written, as it felt premature and would effectively be a prohibition-style ban on hemp businesses.
There are hundreds of hemp shops in Chicago, and Mayor Johnson says that they generate millions in tax dollars.
Right now, lawmakers in Springfield are holding a hearing on a bill to keep the Bears' next stadium here in Illinois. This measure provides financing for infrastructure. It's the so-called pilot bill that would give the Bears and other developers the ability to negotiate property tax rates, which have been at issue. Lawmakers, they're going head-to-head against Indiana, where a stadium funding bill has already passed the state Senate.
All right, time now 8:06. Checking back in with Mike for a look at the forecast. Have those storms? What's the timing on that?
Late afternoon and early evening would be prime time for that. I'm very upset right now because two of Reagan's, our German Shepherd dog's toys, were attacked by coyotes in our yard last night and ripped apart.
Wow.
What? This is kind of mating season for the coyotes.
I was telling you, I saw some the other day in Millennium Park.
And apparently they wanted to play with some of the dog toys last night. All right, we have another mild day on the way today. It is not going to be as warm as it was yesterday, nor will it be as perfectly sunny. My gosh, yesterday was so beautiful, except for the wind. There is still a little thunder going on well southeast of Chicago, particularly in LaPorte County there. You may be hearing the thunder in Westville off to your east. The rest of Chicagoland is dry for the time being. But take a look at this. This is not something that we typically see this far north in February. Risk of severe thunderstorms, in fact, a pretty high one. Enhanced risk now, just south of Indianapolis, going into southeastern Illinois. In the Chicago area, we're a level 1 out of 5. Marginal risk of severe thunderstorms. Could be some hail, maybe some gusty winds in a few of these. I don't expect a widespread major outbreak of severe weather, but to Anthony and Brian's question regarding timing, you see some of that shower activity coming in here, maybe 4 or 5 o'clock, and that continues off and on right until about 10 or 11 o'clock, with the northern suburbs being favored for some of the heavier rain before moving into Wisconsin. Tomorrow morning, it won't be rain that's falling. I'll explain. I'm pretty sure you can figure out what I'm alluding to.
All right, well, during his State of the State address, Governor Pritzker proposed a pause on data center tax breaks. Coming up, an energy expert will join us to explain what this means for your wallet.
And we have more weather coverage as well coming up next. But first, here's a quick overview of your 7-day forecast. We will be right back.
What are you girls doing?
We're doing all the heating, plumbing, and electric around here.
All right, I know you girls know stuff, but let's leave it to our trusted local experts. Let's call Four Seasons.
It's about time you figured it out.
Whether it's heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, air duct cleaning, or generators, you can always trust Four Seasons.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
Caution, work as hard as you do.
Time is now 8:11 this morning. We are following some breaking news.
Yes, 2 people have died. Another 3 were badly injured after a crash on the Bishop Ford. It happened right around 1 a.m. near 111th Street. You can see there an SUV on its side. One of the people hurt is fighting for their life. Right now, the lanes are all back open, but the inbound on-ramp from 111th Street remains shut down.
UK police have arrested the former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor over reports that he sent trade information to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein back in 2010. Andrew was stripped of his royal titles because of his ties to Epstein. The king says police have the royal family's full support and that the law must take its full course.
A man accused of killing his wife by throwing her down a flight of stairs, many flights of stairs, at a South Loop condo building. He is expected to enter a plea in court today. Adam Beckerink has been in the Cook County Jail since he was extradited from Michigan. He had been in Michigan. He was serving time on a separate domestic violence charge. Beckerink charged with first-degree murder in the death of his wife, Caitlin Tracy. He denies those accusations.
All right, checking back in with Mike this morning. We've had a beautiful stretch of weather the last couple of days, but now it's back to feeling like February.
Well, not today, but tomorrow and certainly over the weekend, we have to deal with some more wintry weather. I want to show this view here from our roof camera, and then I want the gentleman to weigh in on this as well. Tell me, do you see the dark spots on here? You see, like,
yes,
here.
Yes,
what do you think that is, guys?
Is that, oh my gosh, is that the dirt from Texas that came down on the lens?
Yep.
Wow.
This particular camera apparently got hit with some of the crud that fell on everybody's car the other night and yesterday morning, and it is now, blurring our view a little bit. But you could still tell it's a mixture of clouds and sunshine out there, and we will see, I think, enough sun to get almost all the area into the 50s. Now, here's something you don't typically see in February: chance of severe thunderstorms. It's a low chance, level 1 out of 5, goes from roughly I-90 and point south. Could be some larger hailstones, maybe some gusty winds. I do not expect a widespread severe weather outbreak with this thing. Timing. We've seen some showers and thunderstorms this morning, especially northwest Indiana. Most of the late morning and early afternoon hours dry. Then we get into some showers, 4 or 5 o'clock, and then this will continue kind of on a scattered basis until we get to about 11 o'clock. And you see a pretty good line of showers and thunderstorms aiming into the northern tier of counties, where right now there is no risk of severe weather being assessed by the Storm Prediction Center. But what do we have for you tomorrow morning? That's snow. Not a lot, but it will be snowing across much of the area, perhaps enough to coat the grassy surfaces, but I think the roads are going to be just fine. Feast your eyes on the 7-day forecast. No more of this 50s and 60s across the board. We actually have some bona fide winter for a few days. It's cold, but it's not that bad. Mid to upper 30s over the weekend, back into the 40s Tuesday and Wednesday, with a chance for some rain on Wednesday. Back to you.
Governor J.B. Pritzker wants to put a temporary pause on incentives for data centers here in Illinois. He made that announcement during his State of the State address yesterday.
With the shifting energy landscape, it is imperative that our growth does not undermine affordability and stability for our families.
Pritzker says he wants data centers to pay their own fair share so that people in Illinois don't end up footing the bill to power them. We're joined this morning by Jim Chilson. He is with the Citizens Utility Board. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you, sir.
Well, let's start with the basics. What exactly do data centers do, and why do they require so much electricity to operate?
Yeah, so these data centers are large facilities that house computer systems that basically manage digital information, and they use a huge amount of electricity. These hyperscaler data centers that are dealing with artificial intelligence activities, those can use as much energy as about 100,000 homes over a year. That means a data center can use as much energy as a mid-sized city. And guess what? Estimates are that they're building data centers now that could use 20 times as much electricity. So we've got a real problem here. We're paying, the way the system is set up, we're paying higher electric bills for some of the wealthiest corporations in the country. We're paying these people call us all the time and say they are appalled that they're paying higher power bills because of these big tech billionaires.
And Jim, when you say we're paying these higher electricity bills, put that in perspective into numbers. Just how much more expensive are these electric bills in areas that have these data centers?
Well, I'm sure. And here's the thing. It's not just in the areas where the data centers are. It's across the power grid from northern Illinois all the way to the eastern seaboard. But in Illinois last summer, I'm sure all your viewers remember this, electricity prices went up about 50%, roughly. We were paying over the year about $10.60 more a month. And some customers, because of the heat waves, were paying triple-digit increases. That is largely because of these data centers. This is a solvable problem. The policy needs to catch up to the problem. And basically, you hit it on the head in your introduction. Two things need to happen on the state, federal, and at the power grid level is we need to make sure that data centers, some of the wealthiest corporations in the world, are paying their fair share, that they're paying for the power and the infrastructure that they need.
And Jim, the state is considering the Power Act to hold those data centers more accountable. What exactly would that legislation require, and how does it protect the everyday ratepayer?
Yeah, really good question. So it's based on a very simple principle that data centers should pay their fair share. It is great at balancing economic development and consumer protections because, of course, if electric bills are going through the roof, that's horrible for the economy because when you're pouring all your money into an electric bill, you can't pay into the economy in other ways that helps the economy. So two things that it would do is, number one, it would make data centers, it would require data centers to bring their own power to their facilities, to bring their own energy. It's something called Beyonce. Bring your own new clean capacity and energy to the data centers. Secondly, it would require the utilities to set up special rules so that, and this is a big one, so that consumers, everyday consumers like you and me, aren't paying for data center related upgrades that the data centers should be covering themselves. Right now, we're paying higher power prices because of soaring energy demand from these data centers, but also on another part of our bill, we're paying for energy infrastructure upgrades that are data center related that we shouldn't be paying for. So basically, again, this is about data centers paying their fair share.
And Amazon is looking to build a new major data center in Aurora. So what should residents who live there be asking right now about the electricity demand, and ultimately, who's going to pay for those infrastructure upgrades?
I think, we hear this all the time from consumers who are concerned about the data centers being created in their community. And this is where, I'm living in a community that's not near a data center. However, I have a vested interest in making sure that we rein in these data centers so our electric bills aren't going through the roof. NRDC has actually estimated that if we don't take decisive action at the federal, state, and the power grid level, that electric bills could go up by as much as $70 a month in the years to come. So, I think customers at Aurora and across ComEd's territory can go to cubactioncenter.com. They can help work for the Power Act at the state level. That's one thing they can do. They can call their legislators and let them know we're concerned about high electric bills because of data centers. We need to do something about that.
And these data centers have definitely been a nationwide topic, including here in Chicagoland. Jim, thanks so much for your time this morning.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
All right, make sure to stick with us at 10 a.m. for Chicago Now, where the Olympics. They're about athleticism, but they're also about science and action. An exhibit strategist at the Museum of Science and Industry explains the physics of these events. We're all guilty of it. A new study is tracking just how much gas people gas and how much is too much. Scientist shows us the smart underwear that are now tracking it. Plus, it's Lunar New Year. We're sharing the stories of some Asian filmmakers. All that and much more coming up at 10 o'clock on Chicago Now.
getwindonation.com.
Welcome back. The two Democratic primary candidates for Cook County Assessor sparred over their approach to reining in property taxes and campaign contributions. This was on Wednesday night's Chicago Report debate.
Incumbent assessor Frisk K.E. is facing a challenge from Pat Hines, the Lyons Township assessor and former employee of the county office.
They were asked also about a potential bill that would allow the Bears to negotiate property taxes for a new stadium. Here's what each of them had to say.
Right now, the state is negotiating a bill that would give potential Bears mega development in Arlington Heights, Cook County, the opportunity to avoid paying taxes on the assessed value and instead negotiate their rates directly with Arlington Heights. Is that something you support?
Well, I'm concerned. I want to see the details about this bill. I'm actually supported by the legislators who represent Arlington Heights. We've looked at this. The key thing is we want the investment to happen in Cook County, but the thing that I'm concerned about is we don't want to be making concessions that the next generation of people who have to be paying property taxes have to live with while we here, 20 years hence, maybe aren't thinking about them. This was a mistake that was made with the parking meters bill where it was a 72-year deal. And I used to be an investor. I know that if you're investing, if you're looking beyond 25 years, it's not really affecting the present value of your investment. So I think it's important that we encourage investments, but I also don't want concessions being made that affect the next generation. There's so many young people who want to become homeowners who feel like it's out of reach. We can't be making concessions that hurt them, 30 years or more ahead in time. So that's what I want to learn more about in the legislation.
Mr. Hines, is this a good idea? I mean, could this deprive money from the school district there, from local governments?
Yeah, I would prefer to know a little. Last version of the bill that I saw was a little too broad, that it would affect all development. And what I'm concerned about is whether the Southland, should we have a mega development down there, would they be able to defend themselves? Would they always be asking for a payment in lieu of taxes instead of paying their fair share?
Well, we're talking about Arlington Heights, though.
I understand, but the bill is written very broadly. It can be applied anywhere.
It can be applied, okay.
And so, sure,
if there's a mega development.
If there's a mega development deal, sure, we develop in Arlington Heights and we get what they were hoping to see, but will there be an unintended consequence? Will there be future mega developments that come out and then local municipalities aren't able to defend themselves against a large developer who would like to avoid paying their fair share of property taxes and do a payment in lieu of taxes?
And
that's one thing
it could be a race to the bottom, too, because if some people are getting a concession for a $100 million apartment building or $200 million office building, I think other people who own those properties are right to ask, why didn't I get that deal? And then suddenly everyone's getting it. We've heard all sorts of stories from other states about, stadiums getting huge concessions, and I don't think anyone wants that to happen in the state where there's huge giveaways made to billionaires.
So you're concerned, both of you are concerned of whether this is narrowly tailored to just the Bears here. I mean, it seems like it's moving in that direction. The Bears will get this legislation, and it doesn't open the door to everybody going to Springfield saying, well, they got a tax break. I don't want to have to pay what my assessed value is. I just want to negotiate it. Here, $5. How about that?
It's asking for trouble.
And what's the foundational reason that we're in this position? It's, again, the volatility of the tax assessments. We had one value for that parcel before it sold. A few months later, the value shot up 6 times. So it's that unpredictability that really chases away investment in this county. It makes it very difficult to plan for the future, to be able to decide to start building in this community.
All right, and a little bit earlier, we told you about Illinois' push to build a new stadium for the Bears in Arlington Heights. Illinois' effort to keep the team here in Illinois. Well, Indiana's wasting no time, moving forward on a proposal of their own that would help finance and build a stadium in Hammond. The Indiana House Ways and Means Committee is talking about it right now, so we're going to take a listen to that.
As Mayor Costas and others alluded to, in regards to the economic growth that it will do for our area. So, yes, we're Porter County and their lake, but we are the region, and we will all benefit from this. Besides, when I got a call from State Representative Soliday and Speaker Houston, they had me when they said Bears, okay? I've been a Bears fan since 1963, for those of you who don't know they were exist back then. So I'm looking forward to this, and whatever we need to do to work this out, whatever we have to do, we are here. We are willing, and I ask that you pass this bill. It is the best thing for Northwest Indiana. As you know, we lost our steel mills. This is a benefit, a long-term benefit Go Bears. Any questions?
Thank you, President Vasquez. Any questions from the committee? Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming down. Randy Palmatier, Kay Nelson, and Andy Quennell, and Phil Talon.
Chairman Thompson, committee members, my name is Randy Palmatier. I am the business manager of the Northwestern Indiana Building and Construction Trades Council. Cover 4 counties, Lakeport, Newton, Jasper, 30,000 working men and women, 15 trades and 33 affiliates. I rise in, well, I'm sitting, but I rise in support of Senate Bill, more affectionately known as the Bears Bill 27. When Mike was dancing to the Super Bowl shuffle, I was 6 years old, but I do remember my parents watching the Super Bowl. I'll be brief. Everything was already said. I echo the mayor's sentiments. I sit on the RDA also for Lake County's appointment. The South Shore to double track, the convention center, the leadership of Mayor McDermott, our Building Trades Council. I feel all this was put together for this singular moment that we're having right now. And I can't thank Speaker Houston enough. I'm going to steal one of his phrases he used with me: transformational and generational. That's what this project is. We had a little thing called the hydrogen hub that we were going to start at the Whiting refinery that was going to put 11,000 construction workers to work, and that went by the wayside for reasons we don't need to discuss here today. But we needed to fill that void, and we started doing that with other projects. And this one will definitely do that. We have the workforce. It's going to be thousands of jobs. Ancillary development, let's not forget about that, and continued maintenance, and the workers that work in the stadium. They work well with the building trades across the state line. We're going to have that same relationship, I'm confident. So I just want to thank everybody for all their support on this, especially Speaker Houston and the Governor Braun. And earlier, Dad's looking down right now. He's proud of you, man. So I don't want to tear up on that one. But thank you. Support Senate Bill 27.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from the committee for Mr. Palmatier? Seeing none, Kay Nelson, and then Andy Quennell and Phil Talon.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Fabulous.
Good. Good. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of this committee. It's interesting sitting in front of you instead of watching you. Thank you for this opportunity to testify in support of Senate Bill 27. My name is Kay Nelson. I'm Director of Environmental and Public Policy with the Northwest Indiana Forum. The Forum is the lead regional economic development organization representing 7 counties: Lake, Porter, LaPorte, Jasper, Stark, Newton, and Pulaski. The Forum is proud to showcase Indiana's business climate to organizations such as like the Bears. It has been exceptionally rewarding to witness the Chicago media capturing and covering our communities who have presented options for our state in this process. The presentation certainly put Northwest Indiana best foot forward. The message that Northwest Indiana and the state of Indiana are great places to do business was enhanced, forever altering past perceptions of years ago. The Chicago media attention to this has been intense and will continue to be intense, I'm pretty sure. The process has been a great commercial for our region, and the Forum is excited to see what major projects may now come our way as a result of this announcement. So in closing, I would like to thank all of the legislators over the years, and today with Senate Bill 27, who have been part of creating the business-friendly climate structure that the state of Indiana has to offer. We look forward to continuing messaging to interested parties that Indiana is open to business, and Chairman Thompson, the Northwest Indiana Forum, supports Senate Bill 27. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Nelson. Any questions from the committee? Thank you very much for coming down.
Thank you.
Now we have Andy Quennell and Phil Talon with the South Shore Convention and Visitors Association, and then Don Paprovac.
Good morning, Chairman Thompson and distinguished members of the committee. My name is Andy Quennell. I have with me today our CEO. I'm the chairman of the board of directors for the South Shore Convention and Visitors Authority. I have with me today our CEO, Phil Talon. We're charged with promoting the region, Lake County and the region, and we represent what it turns out to be a $1.4 billion tourism spend a year as of 2024. We look forward to this opportunity to promote the Chicago Bears coming to Northwest Indiana. This is an opportunity that's a once-in-a-lifetime, a transformational event, and we would like to thank Governor Braun, Chairman Mishler, Senator Garten, Senator Charbonneau, Speaker Houston, Chairman Thompson, Representative Snow, and Representative Harris, of course, for their leadership in making this a priority. We also would like to thank the entire Northwest Indiana delegation, including Representative Slager and Representative Andrade, who we know are going to take this to the end zone and pass Senate Bill 27. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and I'm going to turn it over to our CEO.
Hey, Speaker, how are you doing? Yeah. Mr. Chairman, representatives, although I know some people are going to be surprised that this decision is being made and the Bears are coming here, I'm not surprised at all that the state took the lead that they did in making this happen. You have been investing in Northwest Indiana through your legislation, specifically over the last 10 years, and it's been paying off. As Andy said, the numbers in tourism are going really, really well. We have, I think, some of the highest occupancy rate, if not the highest occupancy rate in Lake County right now, and that's without this brand new asset that's coming in. All I want to tell you is this, as this deal is getting done and the stadium is under construction because of all of your leadership, that's when the CVA's work really begins. That's where we have to start using our assets and tools to market not just the Bears to help them be successful, but to bring these new tourists to the rest of Northwest Indiana and the state of Indiana. We take that very seriously, and we won't let you down. And thank you.
Thank you very much. I just need to make a comment. Northwest Indiana needs to give lessons on brevity. I mean, you guys get to the point. So it's just, we struggle with. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming down. We have two more people to recognize to talk. One is Don Pavervak and then Graham Renbarger.
Hi, how are you?
Chairman Thompson and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to speak in support of Senate Bill 27. My name is Don Pavervak, and I have the privilege of serving as Vice Chair of the Northwest Indiana Professional Sports Development Commission. This bill is about vision and timing. For decades, Northwest Indiana has served as the economic bridge between Chicago and the rest of our state. But too often we watched investments stop at the state line. Senate Bill 27 now gives us the practical mechanisms to reverse that trend, to pull opportunity across the border and anchor it into Indiana communities that have been ready for redevelopment for years. The relocation of the Chicago Bears to Hammond, Indiana, and the development of a new stadium will transform the economic landscape of the region counties. Early projections indicate billions of dollars of total investment, tens of thousands of construction jobs, service jobs, and a long-term boost to new state and local taxes. Beyond those numbers, the project can drive new housing, hospitality, technology investment, and renew confidence in Northwest Indiana as a place to live, work, play, and build. The region already has assets that make this work. Deep union construction workforce, integrated highway systems, direct access Chicago via the South Shore Line. And we have seen this model succeed at the Gary International Airport, where state and federal investments of $200+ million over the last couple of decades have really transformed an underutilized facility. These are the same strengths that have allowed the crossroads of Indiana to support industry for a century and now support a new economy built around sports, entertainment, and innovation. Senate Bill 27 does more than authorize a single project. It establishes a model for how Indiana can use disciplined public-private partnerships to attract transformational development while safeguarding taxpayers. It prioritizes accountability, performance-based incentives, and reinvests in communities that make this work possible. And it leverages this Professional Sports Development Commission as a unified framework for business leaders, local government, and the legislature to act together. And we wholeheartedly endorse this action. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from the committee? Seeing none, I want to thank everybody from Northwest Indiana for coming down and sharing their thoughts and support. That I know it's a whole day, and I appreciate that. We do have one more person from this area, Graham Renbarger.
Hey, Speaker, how are you? Chairman, distinguished members of the committee, my name is Graham Renbarger. I'm with Americans for Prosperity. We are neutral on the bill. The biggest thing we wanted to be on the record for is essentially taxpayers. Please give them the most consideration possible, and where and when we can have elected officials, please have them make those decisions. And with that, that's my testimony.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the committee? Seeing none, I'd like to hand it back over to Chairman Thompson.
Senator Mishler, Speaker Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, both, of course, welcome to close. Of course you can.
1 minute, Chairman. First of all, let's start with the beginning. This is not about taking anything away from Illinois or Chicago. We're partners in the fact that, you know, we need a strong Illinois, we need a strong Chicago, particularly in this region. But this is about opportunity. It's about opportunity to, as noted, redevelop areas of our state that could use this type of investment. I think what you heard today is what I felt 2 weeks ago, and as I've had these conversations, and this has been a process. There's a deep commitment to doing the right thing. There's a deep commitment to not just building a stadium, but having a vision for something far broader than that. Something that changes communities all across that area, and it's an incredibly important part of our state. I've said, if you've heard me speak, I've said I'm a limited talent guy. I don't have a lot of talents. I think in life you can do three things well. And I think in Indiana we do three things exceptionally well, and we should invest in those things. We grow things well, we make things well, and we host people very well. This is that third. This is a transformational investment into something we do better than any other state in the country. And if you talk to people in this industry, they will tell you we are the best state in the country for hosting people. Now we're giving ourselves in a different area of the state an incredible venue to do just that with a phenomenal partner in the Chicago Bears. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate your support.
Thank you, Speaker Houston. What's the will of the committee on the amended bill?
Move to pass as amended.
Move to pass in second. Call the roll, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Clear.
Yes.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Slater.
Yes.
Criswell.
Yes.
Judy.
Aye.
Mayfield.
Aye.
Lopez.
Yes.
Prescott.
Yes.
Roray.
Go Bears, yes.
Heine.
Yes.
Smalls.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Porter.
Aye.
Andrade.
Yes.
Campbell.
Aye.
Delaney. Aye. Harris.
Aye.
As a Bears fan. Yes.
Bill passes out 24-0. Thank you. Well, members of committee, thank you so much for all your work this year. Had some long meetings, and Again, also thank you to staff, both LSA and our staff. They are key, as we know.
And you were just listening to Indiana lawmakers making their pitch for the Bears to cross state lines and go to the state of Indiana. That bill, as you were just hearing, passed the committee there 24-0. You also just heard from Governor Mike Braun, who just posted on X, Indiana is open for business, and our pro-growth environment continues to attract major opportunities like this partnership with the Chicago Bears. We've identified a promising site near Wolf Lake and Hammond and established a broad framework for negotiating a final deal. And he continued that the state of Indiana moves at the speed of business. Also, this just in, today's meeting in Springfield that would have discussed tax breaks for the Bears to build their stadium in Arlington Heights has now been canceled. And no date has been set on a new hearing. We will definitely keep you posted as we learn more. Also hearing from Ian Rappaport, I'm going to read a statement that he received from the Chicago Bears. It reads, the passage of SB 27 would mark the most meaningful step forward our stadium planning efforts to date. We are committed to finishing the remaining site-specific necessary due diligence to support our vision to build a world-class stadium near the Wolf Lake area in Hammond, Indiana. We appreciate the leadership shown by Governor Braun, Speaker Hudson, Senator Mishler, and members of the Indiana General Assembly in establishing this critical framework and path forward to deliver a premier venue for all of Chicagoland and a destination for Bears fans and visitors from across the globe. We value our partnership and look forward to continuing building our working relationship with the Bears. Again, this is not final just yet. Bears not quite heading across straight lines, but it is definitely heading in that direction for sure this morning.
I can practically hear the red carpet being rolled out by our friends, our Hoosier friends across the state line. We will continue to follow all the latest developments as this battle to be the next home of the Bears continues to heat up. All right, we're going to take a quick break, or are we going to our breaking news? Okay, we have some breaking news to get to right now. Two people, this is a bad crash that happened on the Bishop Ford Expressway just after 1 a.m., and there's some hospitalizations this morning. 2 people are dead. Another 3 people are hurt. You can see there in that one shot an SUV on its side. One of the people hurt is fighting for their life this morning. Right now, the lanes of traffic are back open. However, the inbound ramp, the on-ramp from 111th remains shut down.
Also, UK police have arrested the former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor over reports that he sent trade information to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein back in 2010. Andrew had been stripped of his royal titles because of his ties to Epstein. The king says police have the royal family's full support and that the law must take its course.
A man accused of killing his wife by throwing her down the stairs of a South Loop condo building is expected to enter a plea in court today. Adam Beckerink, who has maintained his innocence, has been in the Cook County Jail since being extradited from Michigan, where he was serving time for a separate domestic violence charge. He is charged with first-degree murder in the death of his wife, Caitlin Tracy.
All right, time is now 8:46. Checking back in with Mike for a look at the forecast, and we're in for a cool down pretty soon.
Yes, it's going to feel like February this weekend. I was intrigued, though, by one of those committee members referring to the 1963 Bears. Guess who 2 of the primary receiving targets were on that team? One of them is a famous tight end / coach.
Mike
Bears.
Ditka on that team.
Ditka. The other is still the all-time leading yards receiver for the Chicago Bears, former sportscaster here in town, Johnny Morris.
Johnny Morris.
Johnny Morris.
Yes,
so how about that? The
okay.
1963 Bears. All right, we have got a morning that is kind of quiet out there, but we are going to see the possibility of some bigger thunderstorms flaring up later this afternoon. In fact, this is kind of rare in February to see an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms. Granted, that's way south of Chicagoland, but that's indicative of the energy in the atmosphere, especially south of Indianapolis. In the Chicago area, we're level 1 out of 5. Marginal risk of severe weather. Could be some hail or gusty winds with a few of these thunderstorms. It does not look like a widespread outbreak. What time are we talking? Well, nothing during midday hours. Maybe 4 or 5 o'clock, a few showers already pressing in from the south. Everything is going to be kind of northbound here. And there may be an uptick in activity later, 10, 11 o'clock in Lake and McHenry County before this all swings into Wisconsin. And then just when you think we're done, cold air comes in. And tomorrow, there's just enough moisture in the atmosphere that we're going to wring out a little bit of snow here tomorrow. now. I don't think it's going to cause any problems out there, but it might dust the ground. I think the roads are going to be fine. It's been so warm lately, I just have a difficult time thinking any of that's really going to stick on pavement. Saturday, things are quiet, but definitely much colder. Today, 55, a little cooler at the lakefront, a little warmer southwest of the city. Tonight, a few showers and thunderstorms moving north, and temperatures are going to be falling. Our high for the day tomorrow will be whatever the temperature is at midnight. I'm going to go 44. We'll fall through the 30s, and we'll stay 30s for highs Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but a new warming trend starts Tuesday and Wednesday. Maybe a few showers of just rain on Wednesday. 8:48. We'll be right back with more of Good Day after this.
Fox 32 and Fox Local. Okay. Have you hit your breaking point, stress-wise? Okay, well, don't take it out on your loved ones. Take it to Breaking Point Rage Room.
That's a way to kind of blow off some steam.
Yeah.
That's always cheaper than a therapist. Jake is live this morning to give us a special look.
That's right, guys. You ever have one of those days where you just kind of want to get it out? You kind of want to express your feelings in a really cathartic way. You kind of just want to get just a little aggression out of there. Maybe deal with things. And it's healthy. And yeah, like you said, maybe just a little cheaper than a therapist. You're going to want to come out to Breaking Point Rage Room. We're out here in Chicago Heights. Come on with me. We're going to give you a little preview of everything you need to know. We're going to talk with Melody. Melody's my new best friend. Melody, come on over, managing partner.
Hey,
I've had a blast with Melody all morning long. Melody, what I love about this place is you guys were really emphasizing this is not about rage and not about aggression. This is not about negativity. It's about catharsis and getting stuff out in a positive way. Is that right?
Absolutely. So a lot of times people have a misconception about a rage room. They feel it's about aggression and anger.
Yeah.
But we're really about calmness, releasing, resetting. So there's much more than any.
And doing so in a safe way. You know, we were kind of watching the folks, what they've got going on here. Everyone's got their helmets on. They got their visors on. So you're protected, you're safe, and you're providing them with a way to just kind of get this out. Some of this I've been before. How can you describe this to people?
I describe it as a environment to release anything you have pent up. And it's not just for releasing stuff you have pent up. It's a lot of fun.
It is. And I can honestly tell you, this is my first time out at a rage room, and it is a lot of fun. And it's so funny that you were saying how it's not about anger and rage and aggression, because the first time you use a bat or a golf club or what have you, and you knock away a bottle or a TV, the first thing you do is smile.
Right.
Because there is this feeling where you just go, I wasn't expecting that. Did that kind of surprise you? That was how you feel?
That did surprise me, because when I first started it, a lot of people would come in to party.
Yes.
And they would just have a bunch of fun. And when they would leave out, they would leave out lighter than when they came in. So it's definitely not about anger. It's about relief.
I can honestly, I've hung out with everyone here at Breaking Point all morning long. This is a place of positivity.
Yeah.
This is a place about feeling good. We got about a minute left. We're going to be back in the next hour. But really quick, how can people come out here? How can they find you? How can they come out and maybe book a party?
Yeah, so we can be reached at www.breakingpointrageroom.com. You can book your session, or you can just come on out. We're in Chicago Heights. We're here most all days on Saturdays and half the days on Sundays. So just come out and
have a great time.
Have some fun.
All right, Melody, we love you. We're going to be back in the 9 o'clock hour because there's a lot more we want to talk about. Guys, I got to tell you, like I said, I'd never really been out at one of these things before. I didn't really know what to expect, but it's a good way to, you got one of those days and you just got to stretch it out, and, maybe you're dealing with some stuff and you put some stuff in the bottle and then you just kind of blast it away. So on that note, we are live out here in Chicago Heights as we toss it back to you guys in the studio.
I already feel better.
Yeah.
I already feel better. Living
I feel like the Bears fans should be doing that if the team is moving to Indiana.
That's right.
To blow some steam.
The rage room is going to get a lot of calls if this goes through. Yeah, we're keeping a close eye on that. Are the Bears going to make that move across the state line? Gosh, it looks like it's headed in that direction as of this morning. All right, before we wrap up our 8 o'clock hour, we want to recap some of the big breaking news stories involving the team.
Yeah, we just brought it to you live, where House lawmakers in Indiana took another big step forward towards getting the team to build the new stadium in the Hoosier State. Here's a look at what all we know so far. The House Ways Means Committee, which is in charge of spending, decided to pass Senate Bill 27, setting the stage for building a brand new stadium in Hammond. The Bears sent a statement saying that the passage of the bill would mark the most meaningful step forward in its stadium planning. They called out the Wolf Lake area, making it point of calling it Chicagoland.
That's right in Hammond, Indiana. It's just over the Skyway. Many people drive through there. Indiana's Governor Mike Braun says the state of Indiana moves at the pace of business. The speed of business. They are moving quickly. It's not a done deal yet. The bill has passed the Senate with this passage through the committee. So this thing now goes to the full House for a vote. If it passes, and it certainly looks like it will, that's when it goes to the governor's desk. And as Brian just read his statement, Governor Braun has already said, he can't sign that thing quick
enough. And we were just Googling just exactly how far is Lake Forest from where the Bears practice.
Yeah.
How far would they have to travel if they do end up going to Hammond? It's about an hour drive each way without traffic.
That would be in perfect traffic, because a lot of them, they live up north, the Lake Forest area right around Hallis Hall. So that would be quite the trek. So we'll sort through that. We're going to be following this story as it develops. Our 9 o'clock hour of Good Day Chicago starts next. So stay with us, everybody.